Good morning. I have special guests in the studio. Very excited. And we are Facebooking live right now because this is a very, very important event that's coming up. So please welcome Harry Topping. Is it Topping?
It is ice cream topping, baby, all the way.
You had me at ice cream. Harry, tell me about this incredibly already sold out benefit for autism. Talk to me.
Well, Tori, thank you so much for having us here this morning. I am so excited to be with you. And as I tell my boys, I have 3 boys, Harry F. Topping III, we call him Trey, Liam, and Miles. Liam is autistic, sadly, for us and for him, more importantly for him. But here's the deal. As I tell my boys, November 18th is the best day of the year for us because we are out there fighting autism hard. We never quit. Written, painted over the doorway from a garage into the house is winners never quit and quitters never win.
I love it.
And we will never quit our fight against autism, which is a dreadful affliction impacting 1 out of 59 children born now. 1 out of 59. It's an absolute epidemic. And, you know, Liam is doing pretty well. He has language and he talks and, you know.
Let's get the history on Liam.
Okay.
So when did you realize or have him tested and you realized that he was autistic?
Liam is now 12 years old. So a little over 9 years ago, when he was 3 in June, he was diagnosed with autism. Absolutely the worst day of my life. Probably one of the worst days for my wife, Susan. And not so much about us, Tori. It was about what Liam was going to have to go through being autistic. And believe me, it's not easy. He has 3 hours of therapy, 6 days a week, just to put it in some context of what he's going through. So I was kind of miserable. I would be sitting in the backyard, smoking a cigar, drinking bourbon, and just being angry for about 3 months. And then finally my mother-in-law, my dear mother-in-law, Mary Antonucci, who's Susan's mother, my wife Susan, said to me, why don't you do something? I think you need to do something. I said, you know, Mary, that's a great idea. I do need to do something. Why don't you do a golf tournament, Harry? You like golf. I said, oh, that's sold. Great idea. I love it. Who's going to raise the money? You are, Harry. You are. And, you know, we'll bring the pastries and we'll organize the tea signs and all that, but you're raising the money. And I said, amen, let's go. So literally 3 months after our son was diagnosed with autism, we had our first Topping Brothers Invitational benefiting Autism Speaks. And this is our 9th year, and we're going to raise over $90,000 this year, breaking our previous record of $80,000.
Well,
so
first of all, let's just congratulate mom-in-law for, you know, kind of pushing you into doing this a little bit.
She's our hero.
You know, you need, first, I understand where you were coming from, the bourbon and the cigars. I get it. I do. I mean, I can only imagine what your family was going through, and you kind of need that time to just kind of wallow a little. Right. But then you pick yourself up. Yeah. And then you decide to do something. And with the help of your mother-in-law, 9 years later, look at what this has turned into. It's a sold-out event that takes place on, I believe, the 18th, I want to say.
At the Oaks Club in Valencia.
And tell me, what does the money go for? Where do you channel it?
100% of the proceeds from the event go to the main or the leading charity fighting the battle against autism, which is called Autism Speaks. It's a national charity headquartered in New York. I happen to also be on the board of directors of the Southern California chapter of Autism Speaks, and we do a lot of things. We provide grants to really high-level doctors and medical centers for research into causes and preventions, potentially. Someday we'll overcome. Early intervention, very important.
Is that, let's stop there. Let me ask you, how early is too early? When can the child be tested? How early can the child be tested, and they know with a definitive answer that this child has autism?
To the best of my knowledge, Tori, it's moving younger and younger. But more recently, I've noted that some children between 1.5 and 2 years are being diagnosed with autism, and surprisingly, there is no medical test. This affliction, neurological challenge to your brain, will not show up on an MRI or a CT scan. There's no blood test. There's nothing. It's just based on observation. And autism is a spectrum disorder, which means that you can be very high functioning and seemingly normal, or you can not talk and you're very handicapped. And our Liam is kind of in the middle of that. He's doing okay, but he'll always be autistic.
And could you not do without that therapy 3 hours a day?
He's made enormous progress via the therapy. And we have a good group of young, sort of college, bachelor degree kind of people trained in social psychology and social work, and they are really good with him. And he's very happy when they come over, for the most part.
Does he? For the most part. Well, I'm sure he's also like any kid, and it must be tiring too. It's like,
That's a point I really wanted to make to you, Tori. He is just like another kid. I mean, Halloween, candy, takes it home, eats it all in one, just goes upstairs and kind of hides from the rest of the family so no one
because we steal it. We steal the candy. So
he has two brothers, and one of them is a twin, not an identical twin, but a fraternal twin. That's Miles. He's also 12. And we have Trey, who's 17. He's a scholar athlete at West Ranch High School on the varsity baseball team and looking to get a D1 scholarship. So that's,
Fantastic.
He's a very high-level athlete.
Fantastic. How is the dynamic between the twins?
Medium, I would say, Tori. Sometimes, let me back up. The dynamic between Trey and Miles is awesome because Trey is, sweet teenage guy, believe it or not, and he just adores Liam, and Liam adores him. And they, when Trey comes home, Liam goes, Trey, let's go play. And Trey hugs him, and it's just really sweet. And autistic children do not generally show a lot of emotion, but Liam will give you a hug easy. So, that's kind of neat because really seriously, a lot of autism children do not do that.
I would love if you could bring Liam the next time you visit. I would love if you could bring him. I would love to meet Liam.
Have some candy.
I would, and for me too.
And if you want to speak, I can speak to the golf tournament for a moment because my original concept was kind of based on the old Bing Crosby clam bake at Pebble Beach. I know that's kind of a stretch because Pebble Beach is super fancy and, it was all big stars and so forth. But the idea was it was a family-oriented event. So I have a lot of friends and family at the event. I have a lot of people I work with, and it's just a great event, a fun, family-filled, family-oriented charity event.
Real quick, Harry, a phone number in case anybody needs to get in touch with you who may want to get involved.
Easy, 213-673-8597.
Fantastic, a pleasure.